Well, and you talked about how this guitar over here is one of your early. It goes all the way back with you.
Yep.
How old were you when you got this red?
I got one at 16.
And was that a jam influenced decision?
Oh
or?
yeah. No, I was obsessed with getting a Rickenbacker. And Townsend used them too. I was like, that was another life's mission before the 4-track. It was probably the major achievement of my life to have actually gotten one of those things. The thing that's like dumb about it is that I bought at Water Music, the guitar shop in Stillwater, I bought a 1957 Les Paul Jr. And that was my first real guitar. It was $200. You know, it was just some old beat up. Yeah, there's the Rickenbacker and the amp now on a recent session that I did, but you'll probably see it on other photos as we go along. And I went on the big mission into the city. I went to Newt Coupe, which is the one on 28th Street. Who, incidentally, at that time they owned the building that I now live in. It's a weird, small world. But I went to New Coupe and gave them, I believe, straight up that Les Paul Jr. for this Rickenbacker. And I was like very, very, very psyched. But of course, that Les Paul Jr. is worth like, you know, $8,000, $9,000 now, you know. It's dumb. But I bought it for $200. But whatever. Because I mean, it's like I've played like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows on that guitar, and that guitar has been on every record I've ever made. It's like made it on at least one overdub every record, just out of sort of respect for the fact that it was the thing that was like, it was my ultimate dream was getting that Rickenbacker.
Do you remember when you first played that? I mean, in the store, was it?
Oh, dude, I remember what the case smelled like. I remember everything about it. That moment was like, it was this completely immersive, like dream-like state of walking into that store, doing the trade, like carrying it and putting it in. First I had it in the back seat of the car. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. So I put it in the trunk, and I was like, no, what if I have to stop and it moves? And so I wound up putting it in the passenger seat next to me and driving it back to my parents' house, and then just like sort of looking at the case and opening it up, and just the entire sensation. I mean, I remember every single moment of it. It was like, it was crazy. You know.
Had you played a Rickenbacker before you bought that one?
No, I had no idea what it was. I just had to do it.
So you loved it based on.
I loved it, yeah, because my heroes played it. You know, I mean, I knew it had to be a good idea.
And when you actually played it, was there a sense viscerally of just this, of having that sound?
Well, it allowed me to make the noise that you know, that I heard all the time in all those records. You know, because I had this Les Paul, which is like a really rock and roll sounding guitar. You know, and it's like I've since had to go back and buy one of those, you know, at considerably more than $200. And you know, but the sound for me was the sound. It was the you know, that I had to have.
What is the sound? You want to pick that up for a second? And,
well, I mean, yeah, let's see if I can stumble over here and get this thing.
You can put it in your pocket.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I mean, the thing that's really cool about these guitars is that there's a particular sound that's just like really, really sort of jangly and sort of springy to it. You've got a bunch of stuff that you can do with it that's very unique. One big thing is the toggle switch sound. You know, so you know, it's like totally like the Who. You know, and so you have to have that sound. And it's like, you know, I had. The Junior was one pickup guitar. You couldn't do toggle switch, so I was crippled. I had no way to do this because it was just this one pickup, you know. And so I was like, how am I going to do my big windmill move, you know? But it's like, you know, this guitar, you know, there's all kinds of things that Rickenbackers do. I mean, it's like this stuff is really, really important too. The behind the bridge thing, which like I always was incorporating into stuff, just because it's just like, you know, you say you're putting your nice chord, and then you go like that. You can sort of have these interjections of chaos into the sound, just like, you know, right back there. And so, you know, it just does a lot of things. It's also a very nice looking guitar. I mean, it was even nicer looking before I like put all these stickers and stuff on it.
Well, it's part hollow body too, right? It's
yeah.
Like,
yeah, so it feeds back like crazy. I mean, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of qualities to the guitar that are not desirable, in that it's extremely bright, so some people perceive it as being kind of piercing. It feeds back like crazy, which some people perceive as a default or a fault. But for me, it's like the most important thing in the world is to be able to turn around the amp, go whoop, you know. And so it's like you combine that whoop with this, and then it also it's really good for that. And it's like you have like a rock and roll sort of noise kit right there at your fingertips. you know, which is like really brilliant.
Do you remember the first thing you wrote on that guitar? Or the first ideas that started to flow forth?
Yeah, I couldn't play it for you, but I mean, I wrote this song that's like the most just bald-faced jam rip-off song, and I did a lot of really bad jam rip-off songs. But it was a song that was called Streets of the City, you know, and it was just like
That's the one you ripped off.
Oh, well, I mean, I ripped many songs
Yours wasn't
off.
called that.
Yeah, well, mine was, yeah.
That would have been a real rip-off.
Yeah. But I did, yeah, it's like that's why now, because I was just like, you know, now I am Weller, you know, it's like I got the guitar and I've got the suit, you know, and I've got, you know, the skinny tie and I've got like the pointy Capezio shoes, and it's like, you know, I'm ready, you know, ready. And so, yeah, it was a very, very important moment to get this guitar. That was a pivotal moment.